In the seemingly serene suburb of Rio Pinar, Orlando, a shocking and tragic tale unfolded that defied the quiet charm of this affluent neighborhood. Imagine a world where a seemingly perfect life can unravel in the blink of an eye, driven by forbidden passions and dark secrets. This story takes you deep into the heart of an illicit affair between a wealthy magazine publisher and his teenage neighbor, an affair that would ignite a chain of events leading to murder and heartbreak. Prepare to be drawn into an incredible tale of betrayal and desperation as we explore the details of how a seemingly innocent relationship spiraled into a crime that shocked a community. This is not just a story about crime, it's about the hidden complexities of human nature and the devastating consequences of unchecked desires. Buckle up as we uncover the layers of this tragic narrative, where the line between love and ruin becomes painfully blurred. In August 2002, the tranquil suburb of Rio Pinar in Orlando was rocked by an incredible secret that would soon unravel into a gripping tale of crime. 19-year-old Lexi Pearson, a vibrant college student new to the area, found herself entangled in a forbidden affair with her 52-year-old neighbor, Miles Gamble. The relationship ignited under seemingly innocent circumstances. Miles, whose wife Janet was away, offered to help Lexi with a barbecue grill, which led to an unexpected invitation to his hot tub. What started as a simple act of neighborly kindness soon turned into a passionate and illicit romance that defied societal norms. As the affair progressed, the lines between attraction and danger began to blur. For Lexi, the allure of an older man who filled the void left by her late father was intoxicating. For Miles, the thrill of such a relationship was both exhilarating and perilous. Their rendezvous were carefully orchestrated to avoid detection, often taking place in luxurious hotels or at Miles's residence when his wife was out. This incredible, clandestine affair was marked by secrecy and heightened emotions, creating a web of deception that would eventually lead to dire consequences. The complexities of their relationship were exacerbated by the hidden nature of their interactions. Lexi, who was just beginning to explore her own desires and future, was drawn into a world of forbidden passion that promised excitement but also danger. The affair was not just about physical attraction. It was a desperate attempt to escape the painful memories of her father's death. Miles, on the other hand, was driven by a combination of desire and a deep-seated need to maintain his facade of respectability. This juxtaposition of youthful vulnerability and adult deceit set the stage for a tragedy that would shock the community. In the days leading up to the crime, the tension between Lexi and Miles was palpable. The incredible nature of their relationship, shrouded in secrecy and marked by intense emotions, created a volatile mix that would ultimately explode into violence. As we delve deeper into the subsequent events, we'll uncover how this illicit affair culminated in a devastating and tragic outcome. Stay tuned as we explore the shocking details of the murder incident that unfolded in this seemingly quiet neighborhood. On August 2, 2002, a seemingly ordinary day in the affluent neighborhood of Rio Pinar took a horrific turn. Janet Gamble, returning home early from her day of preparing for a charity event, stumbled upon a scene that would forever alter the course of her life. As she entered her home, the quietness struck her as unusual. Following muffled sounds, Janet discovered her husband, Miles Gamble, in a chilling act of violence. Miles was found strangling Lexi Pearson, their teenage neighbor, in their bedroom. The sight was a devastating revelation that sent Janet into a state of shock and rage. In the ensuing chaos, Janet's initial response was one of horrified disbelief. Overcome by a mix of shock and fury, she grabbed a metal lamp from the nightstand and struck Miles on the head. The force of the blow was severe enough to fracture his skull, causing him to collapse, unconscious and bleeding. The bedroom transformed into a scene of utter destruction, with overturned furniture and shattered glass strewn across the floor. This incredible display of violence was a stark contrast to the serene suburban facade, revealing the dark undercurrents beneath. The immediate aftermath of the incident was a whirlwind of panic and confusion. Janet, trembling and distraught, reached for the phone and dialed 911, her voice shaky as she described the horrifying scene. The emergency services arrived to find a room marked by violent struggle and tragedy. The chaos of the crime scene spoke volumes about the intensity of the confrontation and the brutal nature of the crime. It was clear that the events leading up to this point had been fraught with tension and despair, culminating in a moment of irreversible violence. As the investigation began, the tragic discovery of Lexi's body and the circumstances surrounding her death raised numerous questions. The incredible brutality of the scene was a somber reminder of how quickly lives can spiral out of control. The search for answers would lead detectives through a maze of personal relationships and hidden motives. Stay tuned as we delve into the investigation that followed, uncovering the evidence that revealed the full scope of this tragic crime. In the wake of the shocking murders, the investigation into the deaths of Lexi Pearson and Miles Gamble was set into motion. Detective Robert Cruz of the Orange County Sheriff's Office took charge, determined to piece together the fragments of this complex and tragic case. The initial search of Lexi's home yielded a critical piece of evidence: her diary. Within its pages, the intimate details of Lexi's affair with Miles were laid bare, including the revelation that she was pregnant with his child. This incredible discovery shed new light on the motives behind the murder. The contents of Lexi's diary provided a glimpse into the emotional turmoil she had been experiencing. It revealed her hopes for a future with Miles and her belief that he would eventually leave his wife for her. The diary not only highlighted the depth of her feelings, but also illustrated the precarious nature of her situation. As investigators delved deeper, they found letters that further detailed the relationship between Lexi and Miles, showing that their affair had been both passionate and fraught with tension. This evidence was crucial in understanding the dynamics that led to the tragic outcome. Forensic evidence also played a pivotal role in the investigation. Detectives meticulously examined the crime scene, looking for any clues that could unravel the mystery of what happened on that fateful day. Blood spatter analysis and fingerprint dusting helped reconstruct the sequence of events. The use of luminol revealed traces of blood that were not immediately visible, providing a clearer picture of the struggle that took place. The hidden drawer in Miles's study, containing letters from Lexi, further reinforced the motive, illustrating the desperate measures Miles took to protect his reputation. As the investigation unfolded, it became increasingly clear that fear and desperation had driven Miles to commit the murder. The evidence painted a picture of a man overwhelmed by the threat of exposure and the potential collapse of his carefully constructed life. With the motive established, the focus shifted to understanding Janet Gamble's role in the aftermath. How would her actions be interpreted in the context of the shocking revelations? The next chapter of this tragic story would reveal the details of Janet's trial and the verdict that followed. The courtroom was tense as Janet Gamble's trial for second-degree murder began on February 10, 2003. The prosecution painted a picture of Janet as a woman consumed by rage and jealousy. They argued that the brutal murder of Miles Gamble was a result of her uncontrollable fury upon discovering the affair. Witnesses testified about the violent nature of the crime scene and the emotional turmoil Janet experienced. This portrayal of Janet as a vengeful wife was countered by a defense that presented a different narrative. The defense, led by Pamela Carter Chase, argued that Janet's actions were driven by shock and a desperate attempt to save Lexi from her husband's grasp. Janet took the stand, detailing the collapse of her marriage and her emotional state upon discovering the affair. Her testimony revealed the profound impact of the betrayal and the confusion she felt during the confrontation. The defense's strategy was to paint Janet as a woman overwhelmed by circumstances beyond her control, rather than a cold-blooded killer. Expert witnesses played a significant role in the trial, offering insights into Janet's mental state. Psychologists discussed the concept of intermittent explosive disorder, suggesting that Janet's actions could be understood as a reaction to extreme psychological stress. The prosecution challenged this perspective, presenting evidence that Janet's actions were premeditated and driven by a desire for revenge. The contrasting expert opinions added a layer of complexity to the case, influencing how the jury would interpret Janet's intent. Ultimately, the jury found Janet guilty of second-degree murder. Despite the conviction, they recommended leniency due to her lack of prior criminal history and her contributions to the community. Janet was sentenced to 16.75 years in prison, with the possibility of parole after 10 years. The verdict reflected the jury's recognition of the emotional turmoil Janet had endured, while also acknowledging the severity of her actions. As Janet began her sentence, the community grappled with the aftermath of a trial that had exposed deep personal and social conflicts. In the wake of Janet Gamble's conviction, the aftermath of the tragic events left a profound impact on everyone involved. Janet Gamble served 10 years of her sentence before being released on parole. During her time in prison, she found solace in returning to charitable work, focusing on organizations that supported families affected by domestic violence. This new direction in her life seemed to offer her a form of redemption, as she sought to make amends through acts of kindness and advocacy. Meanwhile, Catherine Pearson channeled her grief into a powerful form of advocacy. She dedicated herself to raising awareness and supporting victims of domestic violence, working with local organizations such as the Women's Resource Center of Orlando. Catherine's commitment to this cause became a testament to her resilience and determination to honor her daughter's memory. Her efforts underscored the importance of turning personal tragedy into a force for positive change in the community. Detective Robert Cruz, who had tirelessly worked on the case, continued his career with renewed purpose. The case had left a lasting impression on him, driving him to advocate for victims' rights within the Orange County Sheriff's Department. His dedication to ensuring that no victim would be forgotten made him a respected figure among his peers and contributed to his ongoing efforts to create a safer community. The community of Rio Pinar, once shaken by the events of August 2002, faced a long road to recovery. Neighbors who had once shared friendly interactions now felt the weight of the tragedy in their midst. The events had exposed hidden darkness and tested the fabric of trust within the community. While some residents struggled to return to normalcy, others were left grappling with their fears and the fragility of their relationships. As we close the chapter on this harrowing tale of betrayal and tragedy, it's crucial to reflect on the powerful lessons it imparts. The story of Lexi Pearson, Miles Gamble, and Janet Gamble serves as a stark reminder of how quickly lives can spiral out of control when hidden desires and secrets come to light. It underscores the importance of addressing personal conflicts openly and seeking help before situations escalate into irreversible actions. Are you ready to examine the boundaries of your own life and relationships more closely? How can you apply these insights to ensure that you navigate your own challenges with awareness and integrity? If this story resonated with you, subscribe to our channel and activate notifications so you never miss out on more incredible and eye-opening true crime stories. Stay tuned and join us as we continue to uncover the real stories behind the headlines, empowering you with knowledge and understanding.